I'm Judy Dainton.
I'm Mateo-Luis Planas.
And I think LMU should not have an open campus.
I think LMU should have an open campus.
Do you think LMU should have an open campus?
Yes.
No. I think LMU should stay a closed campus just because I feel like an open campus kind of opens us up to a lot of potentially, dangerous or harmful scenarios.
I mean, I think, one, LMU is an open campus, and we have a public safety system in place for when people come on campus, if people come on campus that shouldn't be here or are causing disruptions. I also think it is important to note that we live in Los Angeles, right? It's a huge city. There's so much that happens here. There's also a lot of other things that happen here outside of the gates of campus, and even having a closed campus wouldn't necessarily protect students from that. I think worries about student safety are valid, but I don't really see that as a closed versus open campus thing, so much as like a, what can public safety do to better support students and make us feel safer on campus?
While there are benefits to having an open campus, like we live in Los Angeles, it's, nice for students to be able to, feel like well integrated within the community. As of right now, a closed campus is probably a better idea just because there have been instances recently where public safety has not done a terrific job of handling scenarios of, people from off campus, who are like maybe in crisis.
Right. Are you referring to the event that took place at Wellness Wednesday?
I am.
What was frustrating to me about that event was like the communication that came from LMU, right? Mm-hmm. There were a bunch of notifications sent. They were all pretty vague. Students didn't know what was happening. Students also didn't do much to help themselves, right? There were flocks of people coming to Sunken Gardens after the university said, don't go there. Whether campus was open or closed, students still went. Students still, put themselves in danger when, even if the campus was closed, that wouldn't have prevented anything from happening there.
I sort of see it like, the school dropped the ball when it came to sending out the alerts to students with how the alerts were vague. I do think it is the school's responsibility to be able to notify us of what's exactly happening, faster.
Right.
And I feel like just having a closed campus in general, less of those issues would have any room to arise.
It's also important to acknowledge and understand why LMU is an open campus. First of all, in our LMU master plan, we made an agreement with the Westchester community that we would keep this campus open to community members and alumni. If you go onto Sunken Garden during a sunny day, you'll see people with their kids. You'll see, an old couple walking on the bluff. You'll see someone who, is reliving their college memories and just coming back to visit. And I think that's also part of what makes LMU feel so much like a community, is that we invite other people who aren't active students to come and enjoy our beautiful bluff, right? We market so much about how beautiful this campus is, and it is. So why would we plop a campus in the middle of a residential neighborhood and then say, actually, y'all can't come onto this campus, like, we don't want you here. Also, college students cause so many disruptions, like think of a Friday night, people going in and off of campus at all hours of the night. If the campus was asked to move locations anytime there was a disruption, there's no way that we would still be here, right? So the Westchester neighborhood puts up with a lot of stuff from college kids. They give us a lot of grace, and to then turn around and say, actually, because of this one instance, these isolated instances, you can no longer come on campus. I feel like it's not a fair trade-off, especially because it's in our development deal with them.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to the LMU master plan, I definitely think that it should be reformed because we are a college within a community, and we do cause disruptions. When it comes to people like moving next to a college, I lived in a college town for like a brief period, and I expected college students to be doing what college students do. I do think that would be ideal if our community was a little bit just safer in general. Mm-hmm. I know that recently there were a lot of car break-ins, homes getting broken into. So I do think that definitely, plays a big part in why campus should remain closed for the time being. For safety reasons, I think it would be better being closed.
Yeah, I mean, also we live in Westchester, right?
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of the greater Los Angeles community, there are way less safe places to live, right? Westchester, there may have been some burglaries, there may have been car break-ins. We live in Los Angeles, a city known for its art, a city known for its culture, a city known for having decently high crime rates. a city known for having one of the highest unhoused populations in the nation. If we, one, refuse to acknowledge those realities, that's just living in delusion, right? You're going to have to come and live in the real world after college. So I think being too sheltered also isn't good, right? You should feel a little bit uncomfortable at times in your college experience in terms of like exploring the real world. Really engaging with the community is so important as a college in terms of outreach, in terms of visibility. I just don't think it would be right to then completely close down the campus because of safety issues that pre-exist the campus, one, and will continue to exist even if it's closed.
I still believe that our security does need a lot of improvement. I still think that the campus should, be closed, because I feel like even though our campus, the gates do close at a certain time, individuals can still roam around past hours, which there was a case of that, I think 2 weeks ago. Someone was still walking around campus well past hours. Like, while there are benefits, I don't get why we, should put ourselves in that potential spot just in general.
I mean, the other question, I guess, is like, what happens after these 4 years, right? We're not all going to leave college and go live in gated communities. And I think, whether the campus is closed or open, that's something that college students should be thinking about. While
I do think that it is important for students to learn how to transition to that adult world, when it comes to like students' day-to-day life, I feel like being acclimated to Los Angeles, students could maybe do that like on weekends or on their own time, or if they choose to do so. When it comes to like a day-to-day experience, when you're just trying to, wake up, go to class, feel safe, go to the sunken garden with your friends, feeling secure, I think that a closed campus guarantees that.
I think overall making sure that P-Safe adequately is supporting students if they feel unsafe on campus, and giving them what they need to feel safe would make having an open campus feel a little bit less daunting for students who are living here. And honestly, like when we first even talked, you didn't know the campus was open because of how few times this actually happens, right? Mm-hmm. And there was an article a couple years back about something similar happening, and like the same debate keeps coming back up. So I think at this point it's less about the status of the campus and more about, what do students need to feel supported? Why are we feeling like security isn't safe when we have, our one cards open our apartments? So like, it's kind of hard to break in there. Mm-hmm. We do have, campus does close at a certain time. The library does close at a certain time to the public. So I think even like gauging what students need for that would be beneficial.